Welcome to Inside the Chiropractic Tribe. You know, the series of videos that we have on YouTube. And today I have the impeccable, the incomparable, the
keep going,
Mr. Wonderful, Dr. Wonderful. I have Dr. Jack Bourla with us today. And Jack, it's just a pleasure to have you here. You're sitting in Dee Dee's chair.
I am sitting in Dee Dee's chair.
Actually, we are in Dr. Dee Dee Palmer's office at Life West. We have a replication exactly of his office, all the way down to the carpeting, right? Which is exact carpeting that Dr. Dee Dee Palmer had, not from 1895, but same company that made it.
Cool.
Jack, it's just great to have you here.
Thanks.
I know that you're now Dean of Clinics, and I have to tell you, it's one of the best hires I ever did. So
you're too kind, but thank you.
And it wasn't even a draft.
It wasn't a draft.
I got a free agent. I
appreciate being here.
Yeah. Jack, anyways, I'm glad you're inside the Chiropractic Tribe. I've got
Thanks.
some questions I'd love to ask you that you can share with our audience and let them know a little bit about you and what you're about in the profession and in chiropractic. So first, just tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience in chiropractic.
So I've been in private practice for a little over 20 years. I'm a graduate of Palmer West. Before I knew about Life West,
we accept everybody.
We're equal opportunity. Equal opportunity. I left school and immediately went to my own practice. So I've been in practice for 20 years, serving my community, and loving what I've done. I mean, the very first day I sat in the chiropractic college, I knew it was the right place for me. Yeah. I went back when I was 39. So anybody can do this. Yeah. It doesn't matter what age you are. As long as your passion is to serve other people, you can do chiropractic, and it's a great way to express yourself and your love for humanity.
So what led you to, obviously 39, you were doing other things before that, right?
I was doing a few other things before that. So I had been, I taught for 2 years at San Francisco State University.
What'd you teach?
I taught human physiology, human anatomy, and human sexuality. Mm-hmm. So I taught for a couple of years, loved it, realized that unless I was a PhD, I wasn't going to get any kind of tenure track. And so I said, what am I going to do next? And my ex-wife at the time, my ex-wife, had this phenomenal experience in chiropractic, which was what led me into chiropractic. And so one New Year's Day, she woke up unable to move her legs. The night before, everything was fine. She woke up unable to move her legs. So what do? I put her in the car, took her to the emergency room, and they imaged her, and they x-rayed her, and they medicated her. And by about 3:30 in the afternoon, nothing had changed. I said, that's the best we can do, time. Yeah. And I called a friend of mine, and I explained to him what happened. It's called my chiropractor. So he gave me his number, Dr. Cal Fye, and I called him, and he answered his phone. So I thought, right, well, this guy's got to be weird. He's answering his phone on New Year's Day. Yeah. He answered his phone, and I explained to him. He says, okay, I'll meet you at 5:30. I said, okay, tomorrow we'll be there. He says, no, today. I said, but it's New Year's Day. He says, I'll meet you at 5:30. Yeah. So I took her there, took her out of the car, brought her into the office, and he explained to us exactly what he was going to do. He said, I'm going to be looking for some nerve interference that might be the reasons that your wife's legs aren't working. I said, whatever you got to do. So he x-rayed her in his fashion, showed us the x-rays, explained to us exactly what he was going to do, how he was going to do it, put her on this table that went down. I didn't never see one before. Went down, he did this thing, he put her into a pretzel shape, he adjusted her, and she walked out.
Isn't it amazing?
It's amazing.
I mean, the paths we take, and if it wasn't for your wife,
right?
So that's why, obviously, that's why you decided.
That's
to
why,
become a chiropractor, right? That was your first exposure and your why, right?
Yep.
What's your vision 25 years down the road?
Yeah.
Where do you see chiropractic?
My vision, and this is what I've been working off of for many, many years, is that every man, woman, and child gets checked for vertebral subluxations from birth into the last breath. Mm-hmm. Because we know that anybody who walks around with subluxations is not going to be expressing 100% of their potential. Right. So my vision is that we are the go-to people for human expression. Yeah. That's what I would love to see, and I want it to be the norm.
So what's the one thing, and I know there's a lot, but just what's the one thing you love about chiropractic?
I love the most is that I believe in my core, in my 100% of my being, that my son's alive because of chiropractic. Wow. My son Evan, and I've told the story, but maybe we can do it quickly. So Evan, my wife, who's a rocket scientist, and she was pregnant at the time, and she announced that she wanted to have a home birth. And so we agreed that we would research independently midwives. We found the midwife, the same one independently. So when she got back, we agreed that we would do that. So Evan was due on August 11th. July 30th, we're at the vet's, and her water broke. And so as a man, what do? You panic. This is at 5:30 in the afternoon. At 9:30, finally we hear the knock on the door. The midwives are here. I was never so happy to see 5 women at one time. So they came in, and so Rosanna, who was our midwife, she did the examination. She says, she's fully dilated, but it looks like part of the cervix is being caught on Evan's head. So every time she pushes out, it's yanking him back in. And this had gone on for many, many hours. And so they did the best that they could to get her, and then he passed his first bomb with the meconium, and she said, we have to transport. Yeah. So we called 911, we get her into the hospital, an ambulance, get her to the hospital. Fortunately, at the hospital, the midwife was there. And she says, do you mind if I monitor the baby? I said, you do whatever you have to do to make sure that my son and my wife make it through this process. Fortunately, she had done something, and she was able to get the cervix unhooked, and out came Evan. Now, I had been present for my daughter's birth, so I know what a normal birth looks like, but out came Evan, and he was white, and he's got these beautiful blue-green eyes. They were yellow-brown. He wasn't moving. He wasn't breathing, and I said, this is not good. I got to do something. The kids had been, 6+ hours this next one. So I said, Aaron, just hold him for a second, and he's lifeless. As God is my judge, he's lifeless. So I palpated him, and his atlas felt, I had no thermography and no x-ray, just a lot of intention. And I did an adjustment, and she held him for a second. I said, they're going to take him upstairs and clean him up. We'll be with him shortly. So I gave him back to the doctor, and we got Aaron settled in, and I said, I got to go check. So I ran in, he's supposed to be gowned in. I ran in, I said, Doc, what's going on? He says, we don't know. But he's absolutely normal. 100% take your son. So I grabbed that kid and ran into the room, and I said, Aaron, I'm going to present with our son. Yeah. Chiropractic did that. So every morning when I wake up and every night before I kiss him goodnight to bed, I'm reminded of what chiropractic has done for my life and his. And that's where my devotion comes.
What's your favorite word in chiropractic? Your favorite chiropractic word?
Probably adaptation.
Adaptation.
Yeah, we know that innate works, and innate does only one thing, that adapts. It adapts to universal forces for the good in the body. Takes in a destructive force, making it a constructive force, and allows us to be expressed 100% of our potential. So I think adaptation is my favorite.
I love that. That's great. When you arrive at the end of your lifetime, you move to the chiropractic plane, wherever that is, in the great fields with the buffaloes and the antelopes, right? Yeah. And you were to meet, when you get there, Dee Dee, BJ, and Mabel. Mm-hmm. And they're standing at the gates or on the horizon as you're walking to them. What would you like them to say to you?
We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for
Welcome.
you. I love that. And then what would you say is going to be your legacy in chiropractic?
I would love to leave behind in this institution the most highly trained, loving, and competent doctors of chiropractic to serve the nations.
Jack, it's been an honor. I mean,
Thank you.
I wish I could see you every day. Sometimes our paths don't even cross as we go through our busy schedules, but I know that our chiropractic tribe had a great time hearing you today and feeling you today, because what you said today just really came from the heart.
Cool.
And we're inside the chiropractic tribe, and the incomparable Dr. Jack Bourla. I love and appreciate you and everything you do for chiropractic and also for Life West.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thanks.